This is Global Order. I'm Hindol Sengupta. I'm absolutely delighted that Abhishek Singh has joined me. Abhishek is an old friend of mine from the time I spent a little bit of time working in government, but he, of course, is a career bureaucrat. At the moment, he is Director General of the NIC, or the National Informatics Center. And in the course of his work with technology that he's done for a long, long time, a marker time or a marker moment has appeared. He's in the list, the Time magazine list of some of the most prominent AI voices in the world. I invited Abhishek to talk to us today about Prime Minister Modi's AI vision, artificial intelligence vision. What all has India been doing and what is coming in the future? For all that, I'm absolutely delighted Abhishek Singh has joined us. Abhishek, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Delight to be on this program.
I want to begin by asking you, take us through a little bit of the journey that India has gone through in AI, which has brought to this moment, to this global recognition.
See, our Honorable Prime Minister has always been a big advocate of digital technologies and how we can use technology to transform services, to empower people, to improve governance, to bring in transparency. That has been like the principle in the last 11 years that we have been implementing. And if we have seen the progress made under the digital public infrastructure, which incidentally has become a global phrase, a global buzzword, which more and more countries are willing to adapt, primarily stems from the advancement that India made under the India Stack, whether it's Aadhaar platform, which gives identity to 1.4 billion people, or whether it's the digital payment transactions, wherein UPI accounts for more than 50% of the digital payments globally, or the projects like DigiLocker, which has enabled paperless governance. India has been like a path breaker in using technology for empowering people. When it comes to AI, especially it becomes all the more relevant because India is a diverse country. We have 22 official languages and hundreds of other dialects. And AI today allows access to services in all languages through voice and can really be empowering for people at the last mile. The advances made in Gen AI, especially again, makes the task of demystifying government, makes the task of improving access to services easier. So it was felt that given India's early advance in digital governance, India should be the natural leader in implementing AI also. Another strong point in our favor has been our talent that we have. In fact, globally, we are regarded to be one of the countries with the maximum number of engineering talent. Our IT companies have been implementing projects for almost all global countries, whether the financial system, transportation systems. Our workforce is employed in almost all big tech companies. The GCC revolution is happening in India. So it was felt that given the talent that we have, we should ideally be leading the AI race also. But around 2023, the government said that why is it that we are a bit behind US and China in the field of AI? It was asked we set up working groups which held extensive consultations with industry, with academia, with the AI experts, and then certain gaps were identified in our AI story. And accordingly, the government approved the AI mission last year in March of 2024, which focused on 7 key pillars in the ways India will be able to advance the use of AI. And we have, whether it's enabling compute, whether it's building Indian foundation models, whether it's building a datasets platform, whether it's building AI applications, whether it's providing support to skilling or startups, or building a framework for safe and trustworthy AI. Across all these 7 pillars, we have moved ahead under the guidance and leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister.
One of the things I want to talk to you about is that, so much is happening in this entire AI-driven information technology space, especially the use of information technology and now AI for public good, for governance in India. In many cases, India is a pioneer of the use of this kind of technology in governance. Could you, and because Global Order has a large audience outside India, could you tell us, in your opinion, 5 or 10 things that perhaps people around the world don't know that India is doing in terms of bringing this power of AI, power of information technology into governance for public good that could be emulated around the world, but a lot of people might not know about this? Tell us a few things that you think is particularly of interest.
See, the biggest challenge in governance that people face is that very often they don't even know if there is a scheme or there's a program or there's a subsidy program or some benefit from the government that they can access to. Like, for example, in India, almost every government department runs multiple schemes for the benefit of people. And very often, the details of these schemes are available on the websites and the portals and the apps of these departments. But the challenge is that the intended beneficiaries, whether it's farmers or people who are differently abled, or people who are still really living in remote areas, they don't even know the URL of the website or the app on which it's available. And it becomes very difficult to even discover schemes. The first stage is like, how do you discover what is there for you? And then, of course, the next stage of applying for the same and getting access to them comes in. So what we have done is like under the Digital India program, we implement a program called My Scheme, myscheme.gov.in. What it does is that instead of you looking for a particular scheme, you just tell who you are, whether you are a farmer or whether you are a 30-year-old or 35-year-old, whether you are a below economic poverty line or whether you are a differently abled, or your entire profile. You are married, not married, belonging to a particular caste community. So that basic information you feed on that portal, and then that portal will tell you that you might be eligible for these many schemes across various departments.
And this is in any of India's languages, correct?
Yes, this is in all Indian languages. So what it does is that it ensures discovery of schemes very easy. And then what we also tried to do was that, of course, those who have a smartphone or those who have a laptop or those who have internet connectivity can go to the download the app or go to myscheme.gov.in. But we also built a voice interface. In that, what you can do is that you just have to say who you are. Not many people are comfortable typing on a computer or on a mobile because that's something again a skill that people need to acquire. So we have also enabled through voice. Like you just go and say that मैं बिहार में रहता हूँ मैं किसान हूँ मेरे पास 2 बीघा जमीन है मुझे सरकार से क्या मिल सकता है. So if you say that in your mother tongue with regard to your status that I'm a farmer, I have 2 acres of land, and what all I can get from the government. You say in Malayalam or Gujarati or Marathi or Bodo or Konkani or Dogri, any language of your choice, and you get the reply back on your voice. And then when we tried that out, we felt that a voice input and a voice output works on the laptop or the smartphone, then we extended this logic and we tried the same interface, voice input in and voice output out on a feature phone, on a 2000 rupees phone with a toll-free number wherein people could put in their query and get their reply back. So that becomes really, really powerful. That becomes really empowering. And what I strongly believe is that today, though we have 900 million people who are connected to the internet, but there are 500 million people who are not. So these 500 million people, we are 1.4 billion people. So these 500 million people who are yet to exploit the power of digital technologies, yet to get onboarded on the digital ecosystem, they can use voice as a primary medium of accessing information or transacting in services, and that would ensure that more and more people join the digital economy, and that would contribute a lot to our GDP, to our incomes, to make people more efficient, and that will be truly transformational and a game changer thing. That's just one example. There are similar other projects in various domains, whether it is for farmers or whether it's for small businesses, whether it's for building a personalized learning plan for students in education, letting them learn science and maths when science and maths teachers are not available, making health services accessible. Imagine the power of this technology. Like suppose there is a poor tribal woman in a remote corner who does not have access to a doctor or a hospital. If she has a child who is suffering from diarrhea, if she just picks up the phone, calls up the toll-free number and says that my child is having this problem, what do I do? And gets the basic advisory with regard to giving salt water, whatever the simple treatments are required, it can really be life-saving. It can be a game changer. It can be very beneficial. It will lead to farmers becoming more productive. It will lead to small businesses being able to plan their product mix, getting relevant market information. And when that happens, everybody in the hierarchy becomes more productive, more efficient. Their per capita incomes goes up, and ultimately our GDP also will go up. So that's the power of this technology that can be transformational in almost every sector of our economy.
Let me ask you a question that a lot of people worry about, which is that a lot of the fundamental LLMs, the fundamental architecture of AI, is all either being built in America or being built in China. And because India doesn't yet have the kind of architecture or the computing power to do the highest end of this kind of innovation, will we lag behind? Now, there have been questions about how much energy will be required. Does India have the land to build these, vast data processing centers? Has the West taken, I remember Sam Altman saying, oh, now it's too late. We have already, gone way ahead. You might as well follow us. But India obviously doesn't want to do it. It wants digital sovereignty. It wants to build things on its own. How far are we on that path? And are you optimistic that we will soon be able to compete with an America or a China?
See, like, yes, it is true that as on date, US and China are much ahead. And that is because they started much earlier. They have the whole advantage of the world's entire talent going to the US. In fact, our best engineers go to Stanford and MIT and contribute to these companies and build these products. So we do have the talent. What, as I mentioned, did have was compute and investments required to build these foundation models, because these are resource hungry. They require a lot of energy. They require a lot of GPUs, which are very expensive. GPUs today are the domain of one company, and they hold 90% of the compute demand globally, NVIDIA. So what we have done is that under the India AI mission, we are solving precisely these problems. We have made compute available, accessible to Indian companies and researchers. We have around 38,000 GPUs today available compared to 600 a year back. And these are available at a very subsidized cost of 65 rupees per GPU per hour, which is less than $1 per GPU per hour compared to the global prices of 2.5 to $3. The GPUs have been made available, accessible to Indian researchers, startups. We are also funding at least 4 startups already, and 8 more are in the pipeline, who are building these fundamental models, the LLMs as we call them. And we do hope that in the next 6 to 9 months, we will have a homegrown Indian foundation model, which will be trained on Indian data sets, which will be trained on Indian context, which will hopefully be a voice first LLM, meeting the needs of India, the diverse needs of India. And then we can at some level claim that we have something which is truly sovereign, which is Indian, which can solve our problems, and then we can compete with the best in the world. Till then, of course, we are using some of the open source models which are developed in the United States, France, whether it's Mistral or Llama, or now GPT open source has also come in. But I'm sure that within the next year or so, we will have something which we can truly call Indian, truly call sovereign.
One of the things that we have always been excited about, Abhishek, is India's innovation, especially at the grassroots. Some of the most exciting innovation happens with 2 or 3 people coming together in some garage and doing something very exciting, right? And India has a lot of this. India has a vibrant startup ecosystem. Now, talk to me a little bit about the AI startup ecosystem. How are you seeing that ecosystem specifically in AI develop?
See, like, the startup ecosystem is pretty vibrant in India, and India has been known for its capabilities of frugal innovation. We all saw how we were able to launch a probe at a lunar orbiter at a fraction of a cost of what NASA and other space agency were doing. Our expertise in trying is in economizing, in innovating, and that spirit carries forward in our AI startups. We have today thousands of AI startups who are trying to solve multiple problems in various domains. Like, for example, how do we use AI to diagnose tuberculosis? How do we use AI to diagnose breast cancer? How do we use AI to solve problems for a farmer? How do we give them agri advisories in various languages? How do we help them conserve the cost of water that they need for irrigation, the fertilizers, the pesticides, give them access to the markets? How do we help small businesses? So there are startups who are solving such problems in every domain. And with the support from India AI Mission, with the support from the highest levels in the government, with regard to the deep tech startup fund of funds, or the research money that we are pointing, the startups today are poised to build some solutions which can capture not only the markets within India, but can also provide services globally. So our potential is huge, but I think the true fruits of this potential will be visible and will be showcased to the whole world when the world comes to India, when we host the India AI Impact Summit in February 2026.
Me a little bit about which are the sectors that are most exciting you, or where AI use is most turning out to be most exciting as far as startups are concerned. Is it health? Is it education? What is exciting you?
Healthcare is a very exciting area. We are seeing solutions, as I mentioned. We have a couple of solutions wherein AI is being used to diagnose diseases like tuberculosis. And what we realize is that while we have several hospitals in the rural areas where we have X-ray machines, but we don't have qualified radiologists. And with ICMR and CDSO approving this solution, we will be able to diagnose these diseases better. So the non-availability of a qualified radiologist will not be a bottleneck. Similarly, in sectors like agriculture, I see a huge potential wherein a use of AI can help increase the farmer's income. And if we are able to do that at scale, it will be really, really transformational. I am seeing a lot of use of AI in education space because we do realize that Indians, we do have a culture of giving a lot of emphasis on quality education for our children. But I've observed that even poor people are always wanting their children to study in an English medium school or get the best of science education, get the best of what is available within the limited means they have. So, given that interest as a society that we have in quality education, AI can really transform them. And what AI does is that it gives a tool to a child to learn a subject till he or she has fully understand. What happens in most schools, even in the best of the public schools, most teachers, because of the time pressure and other thing, they go by the learning capabilities of the best in the class. If the top 5% says, yes, we have understood a particular concept, the teachers move forward. And the average student sometimes does not get the time or opportunity or the patience of the teacher to be able to fully understand a basic concept or something. With AI assistants, with the AI bots, today a child can keep on querying. Suppose he wants to understand Archimedes' principle or Pythagoras theorem, he can keep on asking questions after questions in his or her mother tongue and get the reply back. So the lack of access to quality education is something that AI will be solving in the days to come. And that's going to be a big, big transformation given do have the DNA, do have the human capital for building transformational products. If we are able to provide education as a tool to every child, it can really be very powerful. Other sectors I look at where this can really help is manufacturing, supply chain automation, auto and bringing in efficiencies in the routine mundane jobs that we do. But my top sectors will be healthcare, agriculture, education, manufacturing, and supply chain logistics.
Talk to you a little bit about storytelling, right? I mean, one of the most exciting spaces that everybody is concerned with these days is how to bring AI into telling better stories. And India, of course, has a huge traditional civilizational wealth of stories, right? We are already seeing, I was watching the trailer of this new film called Maha Avatar Narasimha, right? Where I believe they used a lot of technology and it's been a big hit. Now, here's a classic example, a traditional Indian story, which, I mean, has been told and retold for thousands of years. But now with technology, we are really able to give it new dimension, new shape. Do you see more of this kind of work coming in? And, what are the things you're spotting here that's exciting you?
In fact, very true. In fact, what is going to change again and what is going to give a lot of benefit is a lot of our ancient knowledge and wisdom, which was somehow not accessible to most of us today, it will be possible for us to learn about that. For example, with Ministry of Culture, we are implementing a project called Gyan Bharatam. What it does is to digitize all our manuscripts, whether our Vedas or Upanishads or even texts in various languages like Prakrit, Pali, Brahmi, Kathi. So these all documents, ancient documents are available. They are lying all over India in various libraries, various museums, personal collections. And the Gyan Bharatam project, which Ministry of Culture has taken up, they are digitizing these manuscripts. We are trying to make Unicode compliant scripts of these languages, and with a Gen AI model on that, we will be able to truly access the knowledge that is there. Today, we are not able to, like most of us in our education system, have not been exposed to our Upanishads. we don't even know the knowledge that resides there. And sometimes those who are really knowledgeable, they say that many of the scientific theories were known to our ancient thinkers and philosophers, and they have been initiated in some of these documents. So very often, some of these documents have been like spoiled also. There are parts of it available somewhere, parts of it available elsewhere. So with AI tools, with Gen AI tools, it will be not only be possible to comprehend these documents, it will be possible to run analytics on this and ask queries and get replies back, and that can really kind of forward even scientific research, and that would help us regain some of the glory that we have lost because of inability to read and access many of these ancient manuscripts. That's again a very, very powerful use case for AI. In fact, in Bihar, we are working on there are a lot of land records and documents which are in a script called Kathi, which very few people speak. So again, building a AI model for translating documents which are in Kathi or Pali or Prakrit into English and Hindi will make this accessible to a large majority of researchers, and we can really hope a lot of magic to come from there.
It is absolutely fascinating, Abhishek. And of course, immediately it makes me think that once this baseline work is done, then perhaps we can load up blockchain on top of this and ensure that this whole land process of land record maintenance, sale, and purchase will become far more simpler. And within even government, there's been a lot of talk about how to resolve this, make it simpler. So this is an absolutely fascinating and very, very exciting piece of information that you're giving. I also want to talk to you finally about the event you mentioned in February. Talk to us a little bit about that, because I think a lot of people around the world would be interested in knowing what this event is going to be all about, who are the people likely to come, why this is going to be exciting.
Like this event, as we know that we are calling it AI Impact Summit, and it will be held on 19th and 20th of February 2026 in Delhi. And it's the event in the series of AI summits that began with Bletchley Park in November 2023, followed by the Seoul Summit in May 24, and earlier this year we had the AI Action Summit in Paris. So the whole idea began from UK, Bletchley Park, wherein the focus at that time was more on the safety, security aspects of use of artificial intelligence. Over the last 2 years, the narrative, more so with India's persistence, has moved on from just safety, security issues to innovative use of AI, how we can make it more useful for humanity, how we can make its use for improving lives of people, enabling ease of living, enabling ease of doing business. So we have seen the AI Safety Summit from Bletchley transform into Safety and Innovation Summit in Seoul, AI Action Summit in Paris, and now at Impact Summit, wherein we will be looking at impact of AI on various key pillars, various key domains, and what we have done, the way we have structured the conference is that the three key sectors in which three key pillars on which we're looking at the impact of AI are people, progress, and planet. Like when we look at people, we are looking at how AI will impact future of work, how AI will impact jobs, how AI will impact employability, how AI will bring in needs of reskilling, upskilling, so that we are able to continuously get advantage from this technology rather than it proving to be a challenge, especially from view of employment. So planet, the people becomes a very, very important pillar in our approach. Then second pillar is about planet, how AI impacts the planet, especially with regard to how do we build sustainable AI? Because as we know, AI consumes a lot of energy, and when we are building high data centers, big data centers, they are energy guzzlers. So how do we restrict the usage of energy for AI supercompute? How do we build green data centers? How do we use new and renewable energy? That will be again another big track with regard to impact of AI on the planet. The other factor that we are looking at on planet is resilience. Like how does AI helps in for climate action? How does AI can be used for addressing challenges that we face from climate change? How AI can be used for predicting floods? How AI can be used for predicting extreme heat events? Or how AI can be used for predicting droughts. So that's again another dimension that we'll be covering under the planet pillar. The third pillar, of course, and the most important pillar is about progress. like how AI can lead to economic growth, how AI can lead to better social good. And herein we will be looking at implications of AI for efficiency, for productivity, increasing yield, making us more prosperous, adding to the economy, improving per capita incomes across all sectors, and also for AI for social good, how AI can be used for better healthcare, better education, uh, better farming practices, so how AI impacts all sectors. So this is the three key pillars that we have designed on looking at impact. One key focus during our summit will be focus on global south, because as we know, the way AI has evolved so far is that AI has kind of presently remained in the realm of, in the domain of, in the control of a few countries and a few companies. If we have to really democratize AI and make AI available and accessible to the countries of global south, we'll need to set up mechanisms, institutional frameworks for enabling equitable access to AI compute, data sets, and algorithms. So that will be again very, very important focus for us in the summit. Then again, another important dimension will be that how do we work together to build safe and trustworthy AI? Like whenever we are developing AI solutions, how do we ensure that they do not come with bias, they do not come with the errors, and how we can restrict the use for AI, which can result in user harm. Democracies like India, for it's very important because AI can result in a lot of deep fakes. AI generated content can result in misinformation. So we need to collectively build up tools to address these challenges. Along with having various themes and working groups along with about these subjects, we are also doing global hackathons. There will be hackathon in which countries across the world will be given an opportunity to to startups and researchers to propose solutions or problem statements which can have global appeal. We'll also have a hackathon which will be purely for women, wherein women-led startups will take part. And then we are also doing a UI AI hackathon for the youth. How do we involve the 13 to 21 age group youth in building AI applications? We are also doing a research symposium in which researchers across the world will come and present their papers. We'll have a expo in which AI technologies will be demonstrated, how it is being used, how it is being applied in various sectors. We'll be having a pitch fest in which AI startups will be making pitches to VCs and to investors. We have planned a lot of side events during the summit and also a lot of pre-events in the run-up to the summit. So as we move forward to the main summit in February, I am looking at almost 200 events across the world on the theme of AI Impact Summit.
Fascinating. I want to, as we conclude, I want to have one last question for you. I want you to talk a little bit about, because you spoke about the negative impact also and how to mitigate it. One of the concerns a lot of people always have is the job losses that AI might create. But there are also people who say actually those will be mitigated by many kinds of new jobs that AI will create. So you might have new technology always means some job losses in one sector, but new kinds of jobs will emerge. I'm assuming you're, part of the tribe which would say there are a lot of new opportunities coming up. Talk to us a little bit about how you see this debate and where you stand in it.
See, it is true that there will be some jobs that will be impacted because AI, as we all know, makes us more productive, makes us more efficient. We are able to do research faster. We are able to create documents faster. Coding becomes easier. Like the job of three coders can be done by one coder, but that also implies that some of the routine jobs which are in the form of a routine repetitive work that can be taken by AI. And what I always say is that AI will not take away jobs. People with AI skills will get the jobs of people without AI skills. So it becomes very important that we identify the jobs, the AI skills that are going to come in the data economy and the AI economy. And then we prepare our workforce, our students to have the necessary skills and knowledge to be able to claim these jobs. As we move forward, I am seeing a lot of new jobs will be created in the data space. The data analyst, data scientist, data annotation, data tagging, these jobs will be created. There will be many more jobs with regard to developing AI applications in the field of agentic AI, in the use of using these models to build AI applications in various sectors. Agentic AI will become very, very important. As we move forward, robotics and physical AI, as we call it, driverless cars, having automated robots, so understanding this, the interface between hardware and software, those jobs will become very, very relevant. It will be important for us to ensure that any student who is graduating from India, whether in engineering or any other discipline, has the basic fundamental knowledge of data science, data pattern recognition, and artificial intelligence. So with this, we are working with AICTE and UGC to revise the curriculum of our undergrad education to ensure that at least basic three minimum data and AI related courses are done by everyone, whether in they are studying law or liberal arts or commerce or psychology or philosophy. Ultimately, this technology will impact anyone, people across domains, not only computer science and engineering. We are also working with NCRT and CBSE to bring in AI in the school curriculum, just like we study about planets and plants and geography in class grade 5, 6. We should be having an orientation on mathematics and data science and artificial intelligence, the basic levels at the early stages. So we do believe that with this concerted effort at the school level, at the college level, at the university level, and of course programs for reskilling and upskilling people who are already employed, we will be able to tackle this challenge. And India, since we have traditionally been the knowledge garage for the whole world, we will be ideally poised to meet the demand of jobs in these sectors that will emerge globally. But this will require a lot of concerted effort of Ministry of Education, Skill Development, Science, Technology, and Electronics IT, and the state governments, so that we are prepared to address this challenge of future of work.
Fascinating. Abhishek Singh, Director General of the National Informatics Center, congratulations on your listing in the Time magazine list of the most prominent voices and influential voices of AI in the world. Thanks very much also for taking us through all the stuff that's happening in India in AI, and congratulations on a big summit coming up. I have no doubt that it'll be fascinating, and we will be tracking this closely. Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, Hindol. Look forward to interacting with you more in the days to come.